Hello, my name is Alicia, and today I'm going to be discussing The Betrothed by Kiera Cass. For those of you who haven't read this book, it is about this girl who is betrothed to the king, and suddenly she falls for another lover. And yeah, so that's basically this. She kind of figures out herself that she doesn't necessarily want to be a queen, and so this book is about her decision and what to do about being the betrothed and being in love with another. So anyway, if you want to go read this book, read it, and that's it for non-spoilers. Okay, bye! Okay, hey, this book. I did not believe it when people said that it wasn't that good. Me and my cousin, we were discussing it before both of us read it, and we were both pretty excited, but we weren't expecting a ton. Maybe just because of everyone's comments about, oh, that wasn't that good, and all the stuff. So I went into it trying to be really positive despite all the negative comments, but it's hard for me to say because I love this selection, but this, I just did not enjoy it. I thought it was really weird. Weirdly written. The character development was really bad. Silas, the second lover, we have no idea who he is and like why she's so attracted. All she ever says is those blue eyes. Like, I don't know. I just think it was just not as good as I thought. Hollis, for a character, she wasn't bad, and I thought she was a good character, but it just kind of drove me crazy that she like instantly fell in love with Silas, even though she didn't even really know him. They didn't even have like any time really to get to know each other, and then all of a sudden they're getting married, and then the first day they're married, everyone gets killed, and it was just kind of like really crazy. The whole thing with Jameson, I was really confused at first why she's even thinking about like someone else, because I really thought Jameson liked her and like actually like wanted to be with her. I think he was genuine, but at the same time, more towards the end of the book, we see that he's kind of like the nice guy, but he's actually kind of a bad guy. But it was just really hard for me to see that because he was so sweet to her, and then all of a sudden like King Quentin comes, and then he's like totally rude to her, always tells her to not say anything, and like he was willing to give up their firstborn daughter to King Quentin for their alliance or whatever. So that was really weird. Didn't like that. But I don't know if it was necessarily out of character or like that was the character that was kind of like hiding. And like when Hollis figured out that he was kind of not that great, we all of a sudden started to see all these bad things. But I just have a problem with Silas because I feel like he's a good guy and he seems really nice and cares about Hollis and is very respectful and those things, but like that's like it. Like we don't know anything about him. Like Hollis doesn't know anything, and so for her to just like be okay getting married, I'm like, weird that like she wasn't okay just marrying the king like 2 weeks ago. You know, she was like dragging that out, but like with this guy she's like, yeah, I want to get married, and like I don't know. So that was weird. It was just so weird. The ending was so weird with everyone getting murdered, and like her parents got murdered, who they like were very upset that she didn't choose the king, and then they come to the wedding and then all of a sudden they're like dead. So that was strange and super sad. And just I don't know. So I also heard that this is going to be like a series. But to be honest, like I could see it as a standalone. Like I would read the sequels and hope that like maybe something would be better. Maybe Silas and like some other people are still alive. I'm kind of almost feeling like if it is a series, then it's gonna be like Delirium, like for those of you who have read that by Lauren Oliver. But so like I could see like Hollis going to wherever she went with her mother-in-law and her sister-in-law. So maybe she like finds a new love, but then like Silas has been searching for her and like went through all this to get her back, and she's like in love with someone else, but who knows? I feel like that could be something. I don't know. I feel like that would be more entertaining, but I feel like it's already been done. So I have no idea. If it was going to be a new one, I would appreciate more of like something new. The one thing about this book is that it was something new. It wasn't just a normal love triangle, even though it was so poorly done. And like, you couldn't even feel the love between any of them. But I mean, it was surprising. It did get me at the end when everyone dies. I remember just reading this book and I'm like, what? Like, are you serious? And that was like the end. And then her mother-in-law and sister-in-law were like, we're leaving you. And I was like, what the? She doesn't even have parents. And now she's gonna have to go back to the court with like her ex-boyfriend who's the king. Like, that did not sound like fun. So I'm glad that she ended up going with her sister-in-law and mother-in-law. I did really like Valentina, Quentin's wife, the queen. Valentina was a great character. I really enjoyed her development, and I thought we got to see a lot of her and like know the secrets about her. And I think that did help Hollis a lot on like knowing the life that she didn't want. So I feel like that was a huge push in the direction of like Hollis doesn't want to be queen. But I really liked her. I hope she's in the next book. King Quentin was not very nice. I didn't really like him. Delia Grace. I did like Delia Grace. It kind of did get me at the end that Delia Grace like had this whole plan for her to marry Jameson. And like the whole thing with Hollis, that she was just kind of like upset with her. But like I get it because Hollis like ended up not being with Jameson. But I did think it was interesting that like Delia Grace like had this whole thing and like that she was gonna fall into Jameson's arms, but then Hollis did, and then they like started to get to know each other. But I'm glad that Delia Grace did get to end up with Jameson, because I feel like she kind of has that personality of like, it's okay. I don't know, back in the day, I guess in this time period, people didn't marry for love. They just married for positions. They married for riches and all that stuff. So I get that Delia Grace kind of wants that. It did throw me off, and that did make me sad that Delia Grace kind of like had those intentions with Hollis, and then she like was mad at her. But Hollis kind of deserved it because she had met a dude, and then like weeks later she's ready to like give up her life for this dude that she like literally doesn't know. So their conversations were like only like 5 minutes long. Like they legit never talked longer than like a couple pages. So I'm like, that's like not long. Super weird. All they did was like make eye contact all the time, and I just don't think that's enough. So if this is going to be a series, it needs to really pick it up in the next books. However, I do appreciate that it was different, but it was just so bad. Like, I feel like if the love triangle was better, if we got to know Silas more, then it would have been more dramatic for him to die and everyone to die. But it was just like really slow, and then it got like fast, but it also wasn't just wasn't enough time. I do appreciate the length also. I love that it's not too long, but I feel like the organization could have been better and focused on improving the story a little bit. So I could see it as just a standalone. I wouldn't feel that bad if it was. But I mean, if she's going for like a series, the next one's better be better. I will read it because I do love Kiera Cass and I love the selection, and I just hope that this first book can really pull through for next one. But those are my opinions. Comment down below if you have any opinions or want to talk more about it. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and have a great one. Bye!